Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jacqueline Lopez, and today I will be doing the DIY of my dreams. I am finally making my faux fireplace mantle. Now you will notice that my voiceover and the video will not match, and that's because there was a change of plans. My original recording was way too long and I over explained everything. So basically the important part is that right now I have it sitting here on my floor and it's just a mock-up, it's not assembled. First of all, let me tell you the supplies that I will be using. The most important piece is this thin shelf. I got this from Hobby Lobby for $15. A similar shelf to this is what inspired and made me want to do this DIY, but I didn't buy it and it was only a couple dollars at the thrift store. Seriously, biggest regret ever. Now moving on, I also used 3 white wood boards from Lowe's. I will list the measurements down below. They already come pre-cut to 4 feet and are 6 inches wide. I had one cut to 34 inches to fit over the existing shelf and leave some excess off to the sides. I'm going to sand all 3 boards inside because it's way too hot outside. I will just have to do a lot of cleaning afterwards, but I have done this before. It's not too bad, especially because they don't require too much sanding. I will be assembling it using some corner braces, not the ones that I show you. I'll show you the correct ones later. Some liquid nails, because I want to make this DIY as easy as possible, and I am also using all items I already have on hand. I will also be using a min wax stain in special walnut, and then I will make a white wax to give it the same effect as the shelf. Again, all measurements will be listed down below in the description box, but I want you to keep in mind that mine is much narrower than what most people will have in their homes or what they like. And like I've said before, it's because I have a very small home and I also don't have the space for it. I just have been wanting one so bad that I will make it work somehow. Okay, so now it's all sanded. I'm wearing gloves because I cut myself and because I always make a mess when I'm staining. I'm only going to show you on the smaller board. I didn't want to show you the sanding process because it's boring just to watch me sand 3 big pieces of wood. So I'm only going to show you the sanding just so that you see the technique I use. Again, this is what I'm using, min wax special walnut. I do want to show you some tricks with stains, and it is that you never want to grab them and shake them. You always want to stir them. That just makes for an even mixture. I've already went ahead and did this for a while off camera. I am going to open it. Okay, and I'm going to be using a brush this time. I have done the rag before, and that's usually my preferred method. My husband prefers the brush, so that's kind of why I'm going to use it this time. And even though I am going to apply it with the brush, I am going to wipe off any excess because again, I do want it to be a very nice medium brown. So let's just get to staining. Oh, and this is a 2-inch all-purpose brush. This isn't a stain one or anything. I got this at Walmart for I think $1. And I am going to be applying the stain in the same direction as the grain. So I'm not going to do this motion. I'm going to do this up and down because that's how the grain is. Wiping off any excess, and again, that just creates a really nice light color, and this will also help it dry quicker. And if I do want it to be darker, I can just go over it and it'll darken it. See, I'll show you right now how it'll be just a little bit darker. And I know I'm crazy, but I love the smell of stain. I love how it picks up a little differently in different areas. It has a lot to do also with my sanding. I didn't do a great job sanding, but that's okay by me. I just made sure that it wasn't going to get stuck on anything. because it is very light, I think I am going to probably do a second coat after the first one dries. I am in no means a professional, so if I'm doing this wrong or not the way you would do it, that's completely fine. You are more than welcome to use your own technique. This is just what works for me, so that's why I want to share my personal experience. And if you want to leave me a comment, let me know if you would do it differently. Tell me what you would do and why. So that maybe I can try that, because maybe that would work better for me as well. Okay, so it's now nighttime. That's why the lighting looks different. These are my two, kind of like what would be the legs of my fireplace. And they look different on camera, and that's, I think, because of the shadows. But they are the same color. I kind of have decided what will be the front and the back. So I'm going to try both the wax. So I have mixed clear wax. I'm going to show you that in a little bit. And some white acrylic paint. And this is what I use, just apple barrel snow white acrylic paint. And then I also made a whitewash, which is just water and acrylic paint, and I did use the same one. I used much more water than paint, and I'm going to do that with a brush. The wax I'm going to do with a rag, so let me get to that. This is the wax that I used. I bought this at Walmart. It is about $9. They do have different sizes at different places. This has lasted a long time. It is actual wax, it's not liquidy, so that's why I think it's last so long for me. And again, I'm just going to use a rag for that. I'm going to test a small area to see if I prefer the wax, the wax or the whitewash. And I may have done too much water, but I'm also going to be removing some of it. I am trying to get it to look like this, so I do think that the wax is what's going to be best. Even if I added more acrylic paint, I'm afraid that it's going to paint it rather than just give it this really nice washed out look. Okay, so let's go ahead and try the wax and see if we prefer that or if I need to add, oh yeah, this is already much better. Trust me, it looks better in person, but you can see kind of right here the difference in color. So I'm definitely going to be doing the wax, and I will most definitely need to make more, and I'll be able to focus some of the wax in some of these areas so that it looks how it looks right here. Yeah, I want it to kind of have this same like dusty look on it, so that's what I'm gonna do. Now here it is, stained, waxed, unassembled, again over explained, so voice over it is. I just want to show you that it's not a perfect match. The boards do have an orange or red undertone and the shelf doesn't. That's perfectly okay. I still love the way it looks. I am going to go over with the white wax in some of the corners so that I can have it be kind of a better match, and I already went ahead and marked my boards so that I can center the shelf. Okay, it's time to put it together, and I wanted to show you that I did go out and buy these, again, corner braces instead of the other like L-shaped ones. I just think that they're going to be better at holding the two pieces together. And then I'm also going to be using liquid nails just to make sure that everything stays in place, because obviously I don't want this to come apart. So now I'm going to try and put this together. So here we go. Now I'm gonna let you watch this, and it's okay, you can make fun of me. I made a lot of mistakes here, and that's why it's important for me that you watch this. I did do the pilot holes, all of that was fine. I could have used a bigger drill bit, and that's just what I'm gonna call it, so that I can make the pilot holes a little bit wider. And then when I was using my screws to adhere the bracket, I was using the wrong drill bit again. I could have used a bigger one. I'll explain more a little bit later. That's why you see me struggling so much, but basically do this, just do it better. Again, I hope that makes sense. If you use the correct measurements of these things, it won't be such a clown show, I don't know, of things kind of falling apart and being wobbly as they were for me. Okay, so I'm going to show you kind of what I've done. I feel like I was covering anything I was doing with my hair, so I'm gonna try and save as much as I can of that. But I did some pilot holes here and here. I did mark them with a blue Sharpie, which was a mistake because that Sharpie blew up and it made a mess right here. I actually did stain a piece of my board, but I'll just add extra wax to that. So I added I drilled pilot holes on this part and then on this part, and then I screwed this one in. I did the same to the other side. When I moved in, I did realize that it was still a little bit wobbly, so I added the second ones, and it was actually wobbly because I was using the wrong I don't even know what it's called, drill bit. It was a little bit smaller, so it wasn't pushing these all the way in. So even though they looked they were all the way in, they weren't. I still added this second corner brace right here, or bracket, just so that it was more secure, because I don't want this to move. And look, I can move it up and down and it's staying in place. Super excited. Now all I have to do is add the decorative shelf, and I'm going to attach that using liquid nails, since it is very, very light and it's only going to go on this part. I, however, forgot that these were going to add some what's it called? Well, this is going to make it not sit flush on the wood. I hope that won't be an issue. They are pretty thin. It's not like they stick out a lot, but still, I'm hoping that that won't be an issue. That I will film, and I'll try and get a better angle for you. Okay, so, oops, it's moving. I did sit it up. There's a mess on my floor, mess from the wood and the stain. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna clean it until afterwards. I decided to stand it on this side because I will have more surface area on this top portion rather than on this side. I may still add some liquid nails to these parts in case it does touch it. It does adhere to that as well, but I'm going to focus most of my wood glue on this top part so that it sticks again to this part. And I actually thought about bringing it out. Should I do that? Bring it out the length, not the length, the difference of that. Sorry, I'm thinking about it. If I should do that, I feel like if I do it over here, I will provide also more stability to these legs. So I'm gonna just stay with what I already had. I'm going to line it up to the marks I had made over here, and see, this is where that marker kind of exploded and it made a drop, and when I tried to clean it, I made a mess more than help myself. But I am going to, like I said, focus some of the white wax right here because I'm going to try and give it the same effect that it has here. So I'll just focus a lot of the white right there. So now I'm just going to add my wood glue and honestly pray that it works. Oops, here goes nothing. Oh my gosh, don't tell my husband. He's gonna kill me. Okay, so now I know that this works. So let's just pray for me, guys. Pray for me. Do you see that? Okay, friends, she is done. She is a beauty. Right now, she is going to, sorry, I'm moving a lot. She is going to live in this space just for a little bit, just while I maybe film some videos, decorate her, make her look real pretty for the holidays. And then I'm gonna have to find a permanent home for her because this is in her living room. Sorry, you're gonna see some DIY supplies over there and my tripod, but this is in her living room. Unfortunately, she doesn't fit in this area. It would just be very awkward to have this here and then the TV stand over in this direction. But let me show you a little close-up. I did go in and add more of this so that it would match more of this look. So I added some to the corners, kind of again like what that has. And then with that, of course, I did add some more to the sides. Here is where I had that ugly blue stain. I tried to distress it there and cover it with the white. I don't love it, but at least it's not blue anymore because that was real awkward. Obviously, if you have this in your home, I don't suggest leaning it because the weight might make it fall, and obviously you don't want that. So just like you would secure a dresser or a chest of drawers, anything like that, I do recommend adding some L brackets similar to what I use to attach these two together. One to go here and one to go on your wall, just so that again it doesn't fall forward. And also because it's leaning, the shelf is not straight, it's leaning back, which is okay, meaning your stuff won't fall, slide off towards the front. If they slide anywhere, they'll slide back. But here it is, I'm super happy with it. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know down below if you have any questions for me, any suggestions maybe on what I could have done differently to make it either look better or make the process easier on me. I'm always open to your guys' suggestion. So here it is again. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I promise to have much more videos on this mantle, decorating, how-tos, more on it, and I'm hoping to make a couple more just because they are so fun to make. So that's it. Thank you. Have a very good rest of your day. Bye-bye.